documentary A More Perfect Union was really interesting, and I appreciated that it didn't stick to one side politically, but rather just looked at politics and laws as a whole across states, like as states versus the federal government. For example, Steve D'Angelo is someone who sells medically legal marijuana under Cali law, but it is illegal under federal law. He could actually get sent to prison anytime under federal law, and with the amount that he's sold, he could actually go get the death penalty, which is crazy because his state says it's okay, but the federal government could kill him for it legally. I don't know how he sleeps at night. Akel Reed Amar is someone from Yale University who studies the Constitution. He says it makes everything possible, and it's the most democratic thing in the history of the earth since the Big Bang. It's the first framework of a government, made in a league of friendship. Yeah. It's very interesting, his segment. After that, we moved on to Gary Marbut, who is someone who advocates very strongly for gun rights in Montana. According to him, the average gun owning family in Montana has 27 guns, which is surprising to me. And he's helped pass 58 laws in Montana's state legislature. And he was not formally trained for this. He's self-educated himself on politics and gun laws and all that stuff. Because he doesn't think it's right that we have the legal right to bear arms, but you need the government's permission to get them. And he wants to be able to manufacture and distribute them without the government, because he thinks the federal government has too much power over stuff like that right now. After that, we moved on to Hoover Dam, which at the time of building was the largest mass of concrete, largest concrete dam ever. It was a very expensive public work project. And 90% of that water goes to Las Vegas from the Hoover Dam, which is crazy considering how big it is. After that, we moved on to civil rights based in race, going back to the 1950s. In 1957, 9 Black students attempting to go to school. The public didn't want them to. The governor of Arkansas even sent the National Guard to keep them out. However, the federal government took over and sent the National Guard and the Army troops to escort these Black students through the halls to make sure they got to their classes. So, in some ways, it would seem the federal government would overstep, but in other ways, it seems like it would have to. It's very hard to take a side in this. There's a lot of different factors at play, but it's really interesting to see a bunch of different sides to this, and I was really glad to watch this documentary.